taking notice, taking notice, taking notice. Determination, laser focus, banging on they though they taking notice.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Philadelphia Eagles. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Check, check. Watch it before. Watch it before. One. Watch it. One. Safe. Check it back.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. The last time these two teams met, boy, was it memorable. Wild card weekend last year as the Eagles started their Super Bowl title defense, and they held on thanks to the doink, or the double doink, heard around the world on the Cody Parkey missed field goal, and the Eagles would escape 16-15. Of course, they would go on to lose the following weekend to the New Orleans Saints. On second down, it's Cook. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Let him know.
Throwing is Mariota. And complete right side to Cook. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Mariota to throw it. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And this is caught by Jackson. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 37. Well, that didn't take very long. You mentioned you have to keep him under wraps. Avoid the big play is what you said, and here he makes one in the first quarter.
Yeah, you can't let this become a habit. Otherwise, you know what'll happen? He'll flat out take over this game.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Now the leading rusher for the Pats last year is a rookie, Sony Michel. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now a first down carry. It's Michel. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And they will run it with Michel. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Sony Michel, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20. Call it the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
There we go. There we go. Going to 53. 56. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Now a man who really stepped up last year. This is Matt Breida. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Mike's 56. Mike's 56.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
On play action, Prescott. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2 as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go.
Big stop, P. Big stop. Let's go. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. Mike 5-4. Two, fellas. Let's go. Right there. 54 Mike. Go on.
On 2nd and 9, Mariota. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 32-yard line.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Michel. And an alley to run. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Sony Michel with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. As the Bears push further out in front. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Prescott. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. J.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season.
There we go. 56, right there, 56. Coming.
3rd and long for Prescott. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
First and 10 at their own 42-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Mariota. And this is Cook with the ground. And yet again. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
It's a gain of 20.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Emmanuel Ogbah there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mariota setting up the screen for Cook. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
Mariota going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
At the 20-yard line.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
That was well coached and even better executed because you saw him looking for the cutback lane, never materialized, and had excellent pursuit to stack that play up.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point's not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Prescott. Got his target, Samuel. A big gain of 28 as the drive continues. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st down, here's Breida. And he's got it across midfield and into Bear territory. Zadarius Smith able to get him down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Forced out to his left. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down. The Eagles on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, pick your game up. There's a 154. Why? Check your hot read.
Prescott down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Watch the pass.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Prescott looking for the end zone. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Brings up 3rd down and 3 yards to go.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Prescott yet again. Letting one go deep for the end zone. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. Breida, he'll try the right side. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Throwing, Prescott. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, kill. 56. Here we go, G. Here we go. 56.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. Now, remember, they had 2 last week in the win, obviously losing here.
Well, you talked about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you make big plays for your team, and he had an opportunity there. Couldn't haul it in, but that doesn't mean they're going to back off at all. They figure if they can get one of those takeaways, they can spark their team to a win.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Looking to throw. Prescott. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Za'Darius Smith providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Bears take over.
First and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
And the Bears first down.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up first and 10.
Slam, slam. Check 9, check 13, check 1.
From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
At the Eagles' 42-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Focus, defense, focus.
Check 15, check.
On the ground, Michelle. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
The tackle made by Monte Nicholson.
Get him, boys.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Where are they, team?
Get ready.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Gain of 6. First down, Bears.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They run again on first down. Cook. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Mark that down as a pickup of 13, and the Bears have the first.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
All runs on this drive so far. It's first and 10. Now a run with Cook, and he's going to get this one down inside the 15. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Check, lucky.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working and call more of that.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Here's Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. A big pickup there for the Eagles' first down, 18 yards. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 46. Now Prescott. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Darren Lee coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. To throw is Prescott. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Prescott to throw it. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Prescott. And no, it's incomplete. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
Difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for the strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
Mariota on 1st down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Emmanuel Ogbah racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Off the play fake, Mariota. And a pressure gets to him again. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop them here.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch it.
From the gun, Mariota. Throw left side, complete to Ross. Touchdown, Chicago! John Ross, his 4th touchdown on the year as the Bears push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw here. He's going to let it fly. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Kill. 47. Here we go, 47. 26.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. He'll dump this down to Matt Breida. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Matt Breida, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. So here now is Prescott as his guys will go for the 2-point conversion. Prescott, his pass caught at the 4. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead a little bit further. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Bears, and it appears they're going to win this game. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Throwing here, Mariota. Jackson's got it over the middle. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a gain of 15, and that ought to just about put an end to this one. Mariota to throw it. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers. And on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they